up, y'all? So we're just taking a nice little stroll around our apartment complex. So this is basically just a follow-up video for our video that we made months ago, like 6 months ago, I guess, from when we first moved to California. So we got a bunch of comments and I feel that it's possible that we unintentionally misled you guys. We're on a small quest basically to get into the pool area. What's sad is we've lived here for an entire year. We've never actually swam in the pool. So yeah, just here for videos. I planned on organizing this video and you know, you see how it's going so far. I guess we'll give you guys a really quick life update. I'll go first, then Akil, if you want to do your whole spiel. A year ago, we moved to California. The reason that we moved to California is I was working for a big corporation and they had a position open in California. So I moved from Ohio over to the Inland Empire. I stayed with that position for a year. I actually put in my 2 weeks ago, and I'm switching into another position tomorrow.
I finally got a full-time career position in my field that I'll be starting tomorrow as well.
What were you doing until you got this job?
I was doing different acting jobs, different modeling jobs, driving for Uber and Lyft.
So he has a degree in environmental engineering. So in Ohio, there's not that many job opportunities for environmental jobs. So that was the reason that he came with me to California when we initially moved. So it took him a year to find a job. He was applying for jobs like crazy. He was getting interviews like crazy.
It would be like 300, 400 people applying for one position. So it was very competitive. One of the biggest
comments that I was getting is that people were coming out here trying to move out to California without a job.
You gotta have like 5, 10,000, 15,000 saved. 15,000, yeah.
If you're not gonna have a job, you need 15,000.
If you're not gonna have a job.
Yeah.
You looking at rent, first month's rent, first month deposit. You gotta have a roommate too on top of that. Maybe more than one roommate. Everything out here costs more, from gas. Registering your car is $400. You gotta calculate all those expenses and you gotta budget.
And then not only is registering your car $400, but every single year that you have to like get those tags, every single year, it's like $250. So things just cost more here in general. And then one of the biggest problems that I don't think that people really think about, and I don't want to sound like a drab and stuff, but like homelessness is an option. And when your rent is, okay, so our rent, we'll just talk about us, it's $1,500 for a 1-bedroom apartment. We have like 700 and some change square feet. And so it's $1,500, right? But that doesn't account for any of our living fees. After we do our utility fees, our sewage fees, our trash fees, all those other fees, our rent comes to $1,800. Okay, so that's just rent. And then we still have to pay our electricity, gas, everything else. So once we're all done, all of our bills come to around $2,100 a month. And we have each other, so we have roommates.
And whatever career you are in, you want to make sure you network before you get here. You want to make those contacts on LinkedIn and make some phone calls to people. Maybe you can Skype different people that work for companies that you want to get involved in or are in the field that you want to get involved in.
The easiest way to find a job in California is to use a recruiter, okay? Because I honestly don't think that most of these companies really look at applications. They just want to pay somebody else to look at the application for them. They really want to do as minimum work as possible. So like he was saying before, you want to get your contacts on LinkedIn and stuff like that. Look for recruiters because it'll just make your entire process a lot easier.
People out here also, they'll live in mobile homes.
Oh yeah.
Or they'll live like some people live in a car.
Yeah.
And they get a gym membership, take a shower in the gym, work out there.
There are parking lots specifically for living in your car in California. The whole point of this video is because I think because we showed you guys around California and you're like, oh, it's so pretty, I want to move there and blah blah blah. But like, first of all, most of California is kind of ghetto. It's not that nice actually. It's just sunny and so it appears nice. and things are extremely overpriced. Like I said, we got 700 square foot apartment. It costs $1,800 a month. And then what else about California? Homelessness is extremely rampant because it's so hot outside. You could really just live in a tent. Like it's not as hard as if you live in a colder climate area.
We're not trying to keep you all from coming out here. We've been through a lot financially in this past year, so we don't want people to go through the same stuff. We came out here naive.
Yeah.
And as millennials, we have to make better financial decisions. A lot of us
act
came
on
from
whim.
college. We're college graduates, so I already know about being in debt.
And then you guys got to think about it. Like we came out here, we at least had one secure income. So my income basically kept us from being homeless. If I were to have lost my job for any reason at any point, we would have been on the streets, or we would have been back in Ohio, because there's no way to survive in California on minimum wage. Like, if you do the calculations, it's impossible unless you have 5 to 6 roommates. The cost of this place is insane.
If you hear that you're gonna make more money in California, that's a lie.
Good point.
I made more money in Ohio than I made in California so far. With overtime, I was making about $25 an hour with my old job.
And that was in manufacturing, by the way. That's super important.
That was, well, yeah, it was manufacturing, assembly, in the warehouse environment. That same job here, I'll get paid like $13.50 an hour.
Yeah, because they have
with not that much overtime.
Yeah, that's true. Because they have an extreme surplus of warehouse workers, you get paid less to work a warehouse job here. So a lot of people were commenting saying that they were gonna come out here with their kids and just wing it, but this is not a wing it type of area.
You don't want to be, I'm not trying to be funny, but you don't want to be like Will Smith in Pursuit of Happiness with his son in the bathroom and they had to sleep in there. You don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
And then from an actor standpoint, you always hear about how famous people like Amari Hardrick, and Steve Harvey, they lived out their car. Now look at them, they're making millions of dollars. That's rare. Financial depression is real.
I have a degree, a bachelor's degree in microbiology. He has a bachelor's degree in environmental engineering, okay? So we did what we were supposed to do as millennials. You know, our parents told us to go to college, get good grades so you can get a job. We came out here, I got a job, he was looking for a job, and we still experience financial depression. So it's just hard, and it's just something that you 100% need to be aware of, because even if you quote unquote do everything right, things can fall apart in California because the cost of living is so stinking high. What was that? Yeah.
Just know that it's possible to thrive in California because people do it. You just have to ask yourself, am I tough enough to do it? Some of y'all be leaving some dumbass questions, not questions, but comments on her page. Y'all lame as hell for that.
Babe, they don't care. Okay. They gonna leave one just because you said that.
Nah, I laugh at it. It's funny. Keep leaving the comments, y'all. It's funny.
Okay, so a question was, what neighborhoods do we recommend if they're not able to visit first? What is a good neighborhood to live in? Let's make it in LA to be easy. The
San Fernando Valley area it's outside of LA, but it's closer. It's close enough to the inner city of LA, and it's cheaper. Yeah, it's cheaper there.
Yeah, so that's
the valley. The valley area. It's a broad area like North Hollywood, Woodland Hills, Canoga Park. Yeah, you would want to look around.
Yeah.
Oh, you said if you can't visit.
If you can't visit, then the valley. And then if you can't visit first, what we did when we first moved here is we actually moved into an Airbnb first. So that's 100% an amazing option. That is one of the few things that I think we did right when we moved here, was living in an Airbnb. And it allows you to look at places without being stressed out, and like, it just makes things so much easier. If we're moving outside of LA County, I would say the Temecula area, because it's freaking gorgeous. There's greenery everywhere.
Yeah, it's just it's very Temecula is very far though. That's like the greater San Diego area.
Yeah, but it's so pretty.
It is pretty. It's pretty.
Would you move back to LA and do the same thing that we did the first time?
No. I mean, I'm glad I did it because I know better now. I had to go through that. We had to go through that experience because we were gonna be naive either way. We just didn't know. We just didn't know any better. But knowing what I know now, I would have waited. I would have saved more money.
I don't know if I would do it again, actually. Because it worked out after a year, but it was a really, really bad year, y'all. Like, it was bad. The fact that we made it, I even told them multiple times, like, if I wasn't with you, if I was with somebody that I didn't like as much as you, we would not have made it. Like, it was hard. It was so bad. And so would I do it again?
I would do it. I would do it again because I would still be naive.
Right, yeah, no, but that's what
we would still be naive.
Yeah, because I feel like when we moved out here, we just had these like glamorized views of California. We didn't really know anything. And really, if we hadn't moved out here and felt this struggle, we wouldn't have believed anybody making a video like what we're making right now.
We knew California was gonna be more expensive, but we were still naive.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's like if you guys decide to move out here, you're still gonna be naive. You're watching our video, you're getting advice, but there's certain stuff you're gonna have to learn from experience.
Yeah.
So it's okay. It's okay. You're gonna make mistakes. You just want to minimize it as much as you can.
So really, that's all we're doing with this video, is telling you the things to look out for so that you don't make the same mistakes as us.
Life is gonna happen. Like, I got into a car accident.
We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah. I got into a car accident where my car was totaled, and I'm gonna just come out and say it. My credit was not good, and it prevented me from getting a car right away. Well, that's just some things to look out for. Oh, make sure you work on your credit as well.
Yes.
You will need that. You will need good credit. That's important, especially with getting a car, getting a new apartment. They look at that stuff.
Yes. So just keep going with his whole shebang. So he lost his car because somebody hit him basically. The first day it rained, there were 400 car accidents because people in California are not used to like any type of weather. So it rained, somebody hit him, his car got totaled, right? So this is the time that he was working Uber and Lyft. So he couldn't work because his car got totaled. So what we ended up having to do is register my car so he could work Lyft, and then he was basically taking me to and from work for a few months.
Right.
And working Lyft. So we were sharing a car, which saved a bunch of money, but like, y'all, that was the epic struggle. So yeah. So
when you come out here, just be willing to struggle. It's okay to struggle. It's okay.
Just try not to become homeless.
Don't become homeless.
It's hard.
Be willing to struggle and just work your butt off.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do to feed yourself. If you have a family, do what you have to do to feed your family.
Yeah.
Priorities come first, nothing else.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're a musician, you're an actor, whatever. Make sure you take care of your priorities first.
Yeah.
I don't want to see any more homeless people on Skid Row in LA. It's a sad sight.
Yeah.
And if you decide to visit out here before you move, go to Skid Row and you'll be like, it'll
change everything.
It'll change your perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not really like people choose to be homeless, you know. They are really trying to look for jobs. Like I said, it took him a year to find a job with an engineering degree. It took a whole year.
And I'm not saying it's going to take a year. Like if you have an engineering degree, you might find one right away.
Yeah.
It's a lot of factors that go into it. It just depends.
Yeah, and then he didn't have any experience before we came out here too, so it was a bunch of different stuff. But so that's our video. I feel like we gave a bunch of advice, but if I could give one last piece of advice, it would just be to do your research before you move out here and save lots of money.
Yeah. And meditate.
Oh my gosh, you need to like clear your mind, because this place, it just makes you so stressed and so cluttered. That's why all these people in California are like health freaks and they do yoga and stuff like that, because they need to focus on something else. So
yeah.
Okay guys, so this is our outro. We gotta go because we've been talking so stinking much. I'm like running out of space on this memory card. But if you have any questions that we did not possibly cover in this video, of course leave them down below. And that's basically it.
Yeah, live life and enjoy yourself.
Peace out, y'all.